Okay, so this is the geometric constraints tutorial. It's for engineering design. Let's open that up. And this would be right here, geometric constraints. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look here. This is the solved worksheet. So when we're done, it should look kind of like this. So luckily what we've got here is a template we're going to start with called the geometric constraints drawing.idw. I'm going to click there. It's going to download this, and then I can click open, and it should automatically open up Inventor for us. We're just going to have to wait for a minute. Alrighty, almost there, and boom, nice. Okay, so this is it before we have all these lines fixed back where they're supposed to be, and this is what it looks like after. So there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 little squares here. Each one of these is worth 2 points. Getting all of them is 24 points total. So I'll just start with the top one right here. Make a perpendicular. So perpendicular, for remembering our geometry skills, perpendicular means two lines that intersect at a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to double click on these lines, and then it's going to open up sketch mode up here. I can see up here in this tab is opened up. And over here, there's a whole bunch of these little icons. Each one of these has different superpowers or little abilities or whatever. And you can kind of tell most of these just by the way that they're drawn, what they do. This first one is perpendicular, well, middle one I suppose, but first one we're going to use is the perpendicular constraint, and it looks like two lines that are perpendicular to each other. So I'm going to click that one, I'm going to go boom, click the first line and the second line, and it should look something kind of like that. It doesn't really matter if the lines are moved around, just as long as the angle here is at 90. So if it looks like a 90, you probably got it. Okay, and then to deselect the tool, you just hit the escape key. And now if I try to move this around, it will always be 90 degrees. Okay, so make all lines parallel. Up here, there's two that look kind of similar. This one is the equal. It's not the parallel one. We want the one that's the angle. So click parallel constraint right here. And you just start clicking away at the lines. Like that. And it doesn't matter which angle they're at, just as long as they're all parallel, you've got it. So I hit escape to deselect my tool, and I try to move these around. If I try to alter them, they're always parallel to each other. Okay, and then tangent. So over here, tangent means making the transition between a line and an arc perfectly seamless in this situation. So I'm going to go up here and find the one that looks like a circle and a line, and it's that one. So I can hover over it and it'll tell me it's tangent. So I'm going to have to click like 8 times on this one. So I'm going to click here and here to make these two lines tangent, so it makes a smooth transition. And then I'm going to click here and here, make those work. And then here and here, here and here. And that's it. Hit escape. And if I move these lines around or hold the center marks, that will stay nice and tangent the whole time. Okay, and then this one, make the circle tangent to the lines. So I'll go tangent tool again, hit the outside of the circle, click here, hit the circle and there, and then click escape. Now if I move this around, it will always follow those lines. It'll stay tangent. Okay, all right, so fix center of circle, coincided the end point to the center. So this is kind of a weird one. What it wants us to do is basically to put this dot on that one. So what I've got to do is use the coincident tool, which is up here. It's the very first one. Coincident just means two dots or 2 points that overlap and that are locked together. So I'm going to click this one, click the end point of this line, and then the center point of the circle. And it should move this over, hit escape. try to move this around, it'll be stuck like that. It's pretty cool. Okay. All right, so this one, make all circles concentric. That one you can probably kind of guess concentric, like with center or whatever, so that all the centers line up. This one's probably the most obvious tool up here. Just looks like a bunch of circles that share the same center mark. Click there. Let's go boom. Oh, I'm sorry, outside the circle, and that one. And then this one and that one. And honestly, the order isn't entirely important, just as long as they all end up like rings like this. Hit escape, and if I move these or try to size them or whatever, they always stay together. Okay. All right, make lines collinear. So collinear means two lines that are on the same path. This one's a little tricky because it's going to look like the lines disappear when we use this. So the second one right here is two lines, so it's a collinear constraint. If I click here and then here, it looks like the line disappeared. If I hit escape and I try to click and drag on the line, if I pull it out far enough, I can see that there's actually two lines here. But yeah, basically when this one's done, it'll look like there's one line. Okay, make lines horizontal. So this one, there's two up here that look kind of like a comb, and we want the one that looks flat, or like a horizon, horizontal. So I'll click there, and then I can click, and I don't want to click the center mark or the end point. Those are the two dots of death. So I want to click somewhere about a third in between like this. I'll do the same thing here. And click escape, and if I try to drag these endpoints to make them angled or whatever, it's going to fight me and say, hey, we're locked to be horizontal. So there we go. Okay, and then make lines vertical. So next door to the horizontal one, we got the vertical constraint. We click there, and it's kind of the same process, just turned 90 degrees. So go boom, boom, and boom, and voila. We've done it. We're amazing, and we're awesome. Okay, escape, and then those should stay together. Okay, so this triangle is a little bit squampered, not going to lie. So make all sides equal. That's the bottom right corner right here. And click that one. And when I click that, I'm going to come down here and then I'm going to just start pairing all of these together. So go boom, boom, and boom, boom. And you might notice if you zoom in a little bit, this corner right here is actually going to break on most of yours. That's okay. As long as the lines are the same length, that's all we're looking for in this square, or in this area, or whatever this step. If you are nitpicky like myself and you want to fix that, you can use the coincident. So I can click this dot, and that will make it so your triangle can be sized and that'll stay together. So cool. All right, so make circles the same size. This one's also the equal constraint. This one's pretty easy. Just click one and then the other and escape. And now anytime I try to scale the circle here, it's going to change the size for both of them, which is pretty cool. Okay. All right, and then last but not least, we've got line up all centers of the circles horizontally. I can use the horizontal constraint right here. I'm going to go here, and I'm not going to click the edges. Notice the edges don't let me select it. I want the center mark, or the center point, like that. Okay, and then okay, and now try to move these around. They can only stay on the same level, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so that is the solved version here. If I double click up here, this is one of the last things we're going to do is we're going to change the student name and the period. I'm going to click here. I highlight, oh, and yours is probably going to be smaller. I think it comes up like this. You can make the text box larger. And I'm going to write Ronald McD for my name. And then I'm going to say period, let's say 95, because I go to a lot of school. That's why they call me McD. It's McDoctor. So we'll say okay. And we'll take all of these and we're going to go File, or we'll say Finish Sketch, and then File, Export as a PDF, and you want to drop this in your student downloads, or sorry, not downloads, your student drive. And if you've made an engineering file, that's where you want to drop it. Save it as engineering constraints or whatever, and save. And once you've got that saved, you'll go ahead and upload that to Canvas. This one's not a checkoff. This is one that you can actually submit. And once you got that submitted, you are done. So fun stuff, folks. That is a wrap.